Hello everyone, welcome back to All the Mods 9. It's been updated ridiculously since the last episode. And I actually already recorded an episode on the previous version. I'm just going to give you the highlights, I think, because, wow, we've got loads more stuff to play with now. So, here's what we did in the episode that now no longer exists. So, as you can see, I got all of the Cataclysm upgrades for netherite armor and the sword. Look at the hammer, it's so cool. And the sword is awesome looking. And the armor as well, everything is awesome looking from this mod. There we go, so we do have the entire outfit now from Cataclysm. I think that looks pretty cool. It's actually really good as well, the stats and stuff. So, update-wise, there's lots of them. So I'm going to start from the beginning, and then I'm just going to read them all off, and then we'll come back to talk about each of the mods that are in here that have just been added. So first off, building gadgets. Railcraft Reborn. All the compressed. Applied cooking and refined cooking. And then a load of mods got updated. Then another update happened. So actually it was in the span of 2 hours. It got updated, and then it got updated again, which is ridiculous. So, the next update, Wither Skeleton tweaks, hostile neural networks, gateways to eternity, the fast suite, fast furnace, fast workbench, and Apotheosis, plus GregTech was updated. So, with that, I'm going to go through each of them. I'll probably go through from the top of the list again. So, building gadgets was added. Really, really cool. It's actually Building Gadgets 2. So it's been updated. I'm trying not to open my inventory. I'll tell you what, I'll go to the one that I've been sort of doing stuff off camera with this Silk Touch pickaxe right here, right now. Which is at the bottom of the list, but that's fine. We'll come back to the rest of them. Apotheosis has been added. Now, Apotheosis has got several things to it. First thing is there's loads of new enchants. And it adds a bunch of stuff to enchanting. So there's Fortune 10 and stuff like that in this now because of Apotheosis. I think. I don't know how much Apotheosis has been updated since All the Mods 8, right? They also add these gems and stuff, affixes I think they're called, and gems that you can slot into your armor and your weapons and your tools and stuff. So we're going to have to get into that at some point. One of the biggest things is they add this thing for spawners. So as you can see, I went and got an absolute butt ton of spawners. This was from one roguelike dungeon. The roguelike dungeon we've already been in as well. So I got a bunch of zombie spawners, wither skeleton spawners all right here, stray spawners, spider spawners, skeleton, enderman, cave spider, creeper, more cave spider. I actually went and got my blaze spawner from the, I've got this thing all the way over here, blaze. This is what we're going to do today. I think today we're going to set up a massive mob farm. I think that's just going to be how it is. We're going to have loads and loads of mob spawners just ticking away. So the Ender IO one that we've got all the way down here has served us well, I think. The Supremium Sword, been amazing. Thank you to the Supremium Swords right there. But I think we might have to retire the ones from Ender IO. The reason being is if we press U on this, we can have a look at all of the things. So, first off, if we add a nether star to, so all you have to do is right click on a spawner once we've placed one of these down. If we put a nether star on there, it means it will always work as long as the chunk is loaded. So all of the chunks in our base are loaded, like around our base and everything. So that's going to be useful. We're going to use nether stars on all of them, I think. There's the soul lantern, which just means that it ignores light level. So if normally the spawner needs like, I don't know, needs it to be really dark, for example, doesn't matter. You can just right click a soul lantern on there and it just ignores it. So that's super useful. So we're going to do that on all of them as well, I think. There's like a bunch of entity things on a spawner itself. So if we hit the shift button on this, you can see that there's like a spawn count. So this zombie spawner right here will, at maximum spawn 3 zombies at a time. And then you see there it says max entities. It can only have 6 entities around it. So it will spawn 3, spawn another 3, and then it won't spawn anything else until those 6 have disappeared. You can change that. So you can change it to be like, I think it can spawn 16 and then it can have a max entities of 32 around it. So yeah, that'll be really useful. We're definitely gonna use that. We're gonna abuse it, I should say, and we're gonna make it so it's really, really high on all of them. The activation range we don't really care about because we're going to put nether stars on there, so it doesn't matter how far away you are from the spawner, they're always going to spawn stuff. Let's do this again, and I'll have a look through here. So that's the max entities, that's the spawn count we just talked about. There's one called silent, which means that anything that spawns in is just quiet. So you don't hear the like death animations or anything like that. It's just silent. So useful. It means that you don't have like really, really loud like witches, for example. They don't go like murr, murr, murr whenever they're being killed, right? So that's super useful. We're going to use that probably on all of them as well. No AI. This one's perfect for us. Absolutely perfect, because when we get an invoker spawn egg, which by the way, if you put a spawn egg on a spawner, it does convert the spawner into whatever the spawn egg is. So if we get an invoker spawn egg, which we can do a variety of different ways. If we get an invoker spawn egg, we can make an invoker spawner, put this on there. When they spawn in, they will not attack you. They'll just sit there and just be like, hello. They won't even say hello. They have no AI whatsoever. But they still drop everything normally. So this is super useful. We're going to use that on basically all of them as well. There's the sugar, so we're going to have to put tons of sugar on everything. It just makes things spawn quicker, or the minimum spawn delay. So if we come back out and have a look at this. Minimum spawn delay is at 260 there. It can go all the way down to 20, and that is ticks. So every 1 second is the minimum spawn delay. Now, the maximum spawn delay is the same, except it uses clocks. I already know this because it's the same from... There you go, clocks. It's the same thing from All the Mods 8, and I did quite a lot with spawners in All the Mods 8. This bit here, the redstone comparator, that's the biggest right there, because you basically just you right click the comparator onto the spawner, and it makes it redstone controlled. So we can use redstone links to turn stuff on and off, just like we're doing right here. This is kind of like a pseudo Apotheosis spawner thingy right here, except we can't increase the maximum spawn delay or the minimum spawn delay and all of that with Ender.io. Ender.io has been really good up until this point, right? So I'm really glad that we got this going. It just brought back so many memories of making spawners back in the day. So that's all of those. There is this one, which is Dragon Egg. The Dragon Egg just ignores all spawn conditions. I don't know if it works for slimes. I know at one point it just stopped working for slimes for some reason. That being that you need to be in a slime chunk for a slime spawner to work. I think it might have been fixed, so you can use it on a slime spawner, the Dragon Egg, and it will just work. The blaze rod will make the spawn area really, really big, but you can also do the opposite of everything by, in your offhand, holding a nether quartz. So I'll scroll to this one here. So this one decreases the spawn range. I will probably do this for most of them. So we'll decrease the spawn range to like 2 maybe. And that means that they can't spawn outside of the little container that I'm going to put them in. I think that's just a good idea right there. So yeah, we're going to decrease. This is the only one we really want decrease, in my opinion. Right, anyway, that's a lot of talking about spawners. We should probably just go and do it, I suppose. I do need to completely rip out my my spawner setup that I've got. I'm going to increase the size of that room, do some planning, and we're going to get all of these in there. I did notice that there's not many other ways of killing, auto-killing. So we might have to go for, where is it? That's Industrial Foregoing. So Industrial Foregoing's got the mob slaughter factory. Is that the one we've already got? I think it is. So that's the slaughter factory. This is the one that makes the liquid meat and the pink slime. Now, there is a better version of this, which does auto-killing. And that is the mob crusher. That's it. The mob crusher. That does require an advanced machine frame, so you do need to make the slaughter factory first to get the pink slime for this. But that's fine. The mob crusher basically does exactly what this does down here, where it deletes stuff in an area. So that spawns in with a skeleton. You know, we can come up here. With a skeleton spawns in. This thing ticks down and deletes the wither skeletons and gives you liquid meat and pink slime. We're going to use the crusher because the crusher will give us, I don't know if it will show it. Ah, there you go, essence. So this essence we're going to use in a mob duplicator, and we're going to use a mob imprisonment tool. And I've already got a, let's have a look, yoinker. I've got a cave creeper. So the cave creeper is ridiculous because if I do diamond, cave creepers drop, this is ridiculous by the way, cave creepers drop diamonds, emeralds, gold, iron, stone. Stone's actually really useful, like just regular old smelted up stone. Super useful. So it's really good. There's only a 1% chance to get diamonds, and there's a 5% chance to get emeralds. 10% for gold and 20% for iron. But still, this thing here, if we can spawn like loads of them in, is going to be super, super useful. Also, if we can get ourselves the capturing, so if I pop up here and I go capturing, if I can get capturing on on my sword, ideally we get up to capturing 5. There's, I think it goes up to 2% chance 2% chance to get a spawn egg for whatever you are killing, right? So what we will do is I'll probably use the Ender IO spawner for the invoker, and I'll just sit there and I'll just like hack away at a bunch of invokers. Ideally, you'd kill 50 and you get the egg, because 2%, you know, that's 2%. You should get 2 out of 100, basically, right? So 50, you should get one spawn egg. So we could sit there and we could just like hack away, get 50 kills. Maybe we get the spawn egg. We might get unlucky. Might have to go a bit higher than that. But once we got the invoker spawn egg, we could put that on an actual spawner, which is why I've got like loads of duplicates. Because we can like change one of these zombie spawners. This one here, for example, we can change it into an invoker spawner. And what I will be doing is trying to get the capturing on the cave creeper. Because of exactly what I just said. You know, you get like diamonds and emeralds and stuff. So, that's enough talking. Let's do some doing. So, I think what I'm going to do for now... Oh, by the way, if I don't know if I explained it, but these spawners don't use a regular pickaxe on them. Use a Silk Touch pickaxe. Or there's a spell from Ars Nouveau, which is like a ranged Silk Touch. Use that instead, because then you actually pick the spawner up. So I'm going to lob all my spawners away for now. And what we're going to do is just goodbye to all of you. Let me get rid of the... Where did that go? Oh, you know where it went. There it is. Right, I'm going to rip down all of this, and then I will expand this out, and we'll do some planning. Okay, not going to lie, I crashed a little bit just then. I think Hostile Neural Networks is having a bit of an issue. I don't know if it's a rendering bug or something. That's what it says. It said something to do with rendering. Anyway, the reason that I'm talking to you right now is... Why is that one? Oh, well. Anyway. Yeah, the reason I'm talking to you is because we're going to use one of the new mods. Building gadgets. So for that, we're going to make the destruction gadget. And it should auto... Yeah, auto-filled. So, shift, right-click. Wait, how many is that up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 up. We want to go left. I think you can only go up to 16, so we'll do 9. So 8 and 8. So, okay, it does it up to 17, which is fine because odd numbers. Love it. Depth, we're going to wang all the way up. And in fact, what we'll do is we'll do 1 down, 5 up. So what we can do is right click right here, and it deletes a massive area. And there you go, there's our new cave. Awesome. I do need to come through here, and there is the exchanging gadget. Which, by the way, if you enchant this, because you can enchant the exchanging gadget, I just thought I'd mention this. It can only get, by the looks of it, 3 enchantments, but I don't think it can get the reactive one. Doesn't look like it. The Tombstone Soulbound it might get, so watch out for that. But Silk Touch is one of the main things that it can get. So super useful if you want to set up, like, if you want to get loads of Silk Touches, basically. Because you can enchant this over and over and you can extract the enchantment. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm going to put my Silk Touch pickaxe away. So this is just like the Exchanger, except it's slightly different. It uses like all of the building gadget stuff. So again, I need to set up a button for this. There we go. So if you hold down your button, I set mine to the 6 on my my keypad. Why is it set to grid? Surface is what I want to set it to. And wang the range all the way up. And obviously we're going to make this out of white concrete. Well, I crashed again. I was trying to get... Ooh, that was close. Yeah, I was trying to look up Enderman, I think? Enderman for the Enderman spawner. And Hostile Neural Networks, there's an issue right now with rendering. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but it's fine. So I'm on 0.0.53 right now of all the mods 9, and there is a fix that you can do to fix up the issue with hostile neural networks. So as you can see, I can open up hostile neural networks and everything's fine. The way you do that is you do this. So if you go into your config file in your instance of this, and then you go to the JEI folder, and then you open the blacklist JEI like file in there. Should be empty to begin with. All you need to do is stick that line in there. What I'll do is I'll like paste it into the description. Also, if you didn't know, I always put what version of the mod pack I'm on in the video description. So if you were wondering, if you're like, oh, that's not in here anymore, or oh, why is he not using this mod? It's probably because when I was making that video, the mod wasn't in at that point, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, just check out the mod version or the mod pack version before you do any of that. So, yeah, that hopefully should help a few people out. I've had massive trouble because every time I would type like draw, for some reason it would pick up something from hostile neural networks and it would crash me. So I've crashed an absolute ton today. But it's to be expected. This is still an alpha, remember? Right, coming back to the spawner thing that I've set up. So I did make Mob Crusher. Mob Crusher. This thing. So I already have the advanced machine frame automated. You can see that in one of my previous episodes. But yeah, what this does is it just deletes stuff. It deletes the mobs, right? So I put that in there. And I also put a +8 range add-on. So if we do that, you can see it covers this entire area. So that means anything in this area will get deleted straight away. It's pretty decent. I am going to make it push down into this modular router. I haven't set anything up here yet. What I am going to do is I'm going to set up a sender module to send to this draw controller right here. This is going to be on our network as well. So we're going to have this just linked up to the network. I'm going to use entangled blocks, I think, because I want to set it up so it's entangled in both my networks, my applied energistics and my refined storage. So, yeah. But this is going to link to drawers that I'm going to put above all of these redstone links. And I'm not actually going to put the spawners on the floor. I'm going to put them on the roof. And then put the redstone links underneath. Now, my whole reasoning behind that is, fingers crossed, I don't know if this ceiling is like far enough away, but fingers crossed that means that, you know, as I said, the like max entities, for example, on this stray spawner, that max entities, I think this might be out of range if they land here. So what will happen is they'll spawn in, I hope at least, and then fall down into here, and then they'll be walking around, and the max entities around the spawner, it won't notice, so it'll spawn some more. I might have to bump this up more, actually, thinking about it. Also, I really like these simple lights, dynamic edge lights. They look really cool, especially with white concrete. So yeah, that's the plan. I've got, I think, 9 spawners, or 8 spawners right here. So I do plan on having a few more, like the Invoker one eventually, and so on and so on. So that might be a plan. I know what a few people do is there's this thing from Ars Nouveau where you can set up a portal. Like, you know, the Nether portal, for example. You can set up the Nether portal, or like it's a bit like that, but you could tell it to go to a specific area. So we could set the spawn for that to be like right in the center of this room, and then have all of our spawners basically drop into that portal. They'll be teleported to here, they'll drop into here, and they'll land, and then they'll get deleted, thanks to the Mob Crusher. This is kind of quick, but I think it only does one at a time. So it only does like 1 kill at a time. And if we've got, what, 8 things being spawned, and each one of them is going to be spawning multiple things at a time, then we could have like over 20 mobs being spawned at once, and then this isn't going to be able to kill them all. So I might have to put more than just this quartz fence right here. I might have to put like, I don't know, some glass or something so they can't get out. But another thing I could do is just make extra mob crushers, just put them all along here like this, and then have them all feed into this modular router. I think that might be an idea. But anyway, we're going to just, I think, set up the router first. And what I like to do is, I've got a sender module right here, and I'm going to make a filter, because I don't think this is going to be big enough. So, bulk item filter. There we go. So, what I can do with that is I can just drag and drop all of these drops that you can get from each of the individuals. So these 4 you can get from zombies. I put their spawners right next to them. You can get coal, bone, wither skeleton skull from the wither skeletons. I'm going to set up the wither skeletons, even though we probably don't need to, thinking about it. Because we are going to set up hostile neural networks soon, instead of doing the nether stars using, you know, wither skeletons. We're just going to do it using, yeah, anyway. So these ones are for spider. Skeleton doesn't have anything because they're already being set, right? So bone and arrow. So they're already set. Ender pearl for the enderman. Gunpowder for the creeper. And blaze rod for the blaze spawner. So this bulk item filter, I should be able to just whitelist, stick it in like that. So it's got 14 items. And what I'm going to do is go, da-dung. Oh, hello. Did I actually set it? Doesn't look like it's set. Meh. Anyway, I think that should work. Yeah. I've got 10 of these set up right now, so I could technically just get rid of these 2. And I'm going to set up each one of these. So this one here will be for zombies, so I'll put a bit of flesh in there. The next one will be, well, if I middle click right here. Okay, first one's blaze, then creeper, then enderman, skeleton. So blaze rods. Creeper is dust, probably the gunpowder, and then enderman is obviously ender pearl, and then skeleton is bone, for example, and we'll just do that all the way around. So I think what I might do is set these up first. Now I do need some comparators just to start us off. So let's get 8 comparators going. Really useful to autocraft that. And I'm going to set them up like... Now the blaze spawner might be the weird one, where I set it up down here. Right, there we go. We've got all of them set up. So I can turn the blaze one on right there. And that would spawn, although actually that is going to spawn. Oops. Okay, I think that's fine. Weird. Anyway, that would spawn, but obviously it's too light in here. I think all of these are too light, so we do need to get the soul lanterns. Now, I only have 6, but you can actually craft them in this pack. I think you can normally craft them. I did play Gravitas, where you couldn't craft them, I don't think. One of those, one of those. I'm just going to put them on all of them, because why not? There we go. So that is... Light levels are now fixed, so if anything that gets dropped from these guys right now will be voided, because I do have another sender module, and it's sending to this ultimate trash can right here. So the whole point in this trash can is, I've changed this by the way, I've added all of these framed drawers. Yeah, the whole point in this trash can is to void anything we don't want. So I did try this with just this pushing into the modular router, but that was super slow, so I added a puller upgrade, so it's super quick again. So the way that this works is anything, it does all the operations left to right. So this right here has got a bulk item filter, and it's got all of these items in that bulk item filter. So in fact, bulk item filter, it's right there. I think I forgot to put the reliquary stuff in there, so I will put that in now. Just like these. And there's a few other bits as well, so there's like the stuff from Iron Spells and Spellbooks, and I'll put those in later. But yeah, what this thing here has is a whitelist for this bulk item filter. So if I update that filter, you actually get to keep this, so you can use this elsewhere. And I will be doing that. But yeah, so what that does is it will push into all of these drawers via this drawer controller. So all it needs to do is send to the drawer controller. It'll fill up all of these drawers. I've entangled this storage controller, and if we pop upstairs, right under here, there's the entangled block. That's the storage controller downstairs. I'm importing it into the system. So this down here is basically a big filter on all the items I want to keep. Anything that's not in this filter will just go straight into the trash can. So we don't have to worry about, like, if we spawn in these wither skeletons, you know, they get, like, you know, the helmets, and like there was a shovel. That shovel's just going straight into the trash can because we don't want that. Other than that, if we have a look at the stats, I put a load of sugar, a load of clocks. I decreased the spawn count using blaze rods and a piece of nether quartz in my offhand. I added the ignore players, so that's the nether star. I added redstone control, you already saw that. Ignores light, no AI, which is a chorus fruit, and I put some wool on there as well, so it's completely silent. So if I activate all of these, they will start sending all of the items up into these drawers, which then gets pulled straight out into our refined storage system. And that refined storage system is basically those, you know, the drawers from, or the barrels right now from sophisticated storage. So because of that, it means that our applied energistics also gets access to it. So I can just turn all of these on, and all of these things will drop down. No AI means that they won't even attack me, and they won't walk around, they won't do anything. It's really good for the Enderman, because that means the Enderman won't fly off. And there we go, we've got loads of drops coming in. This is probably really laggy, by the way, which is why I set them all up on redstone links. If I'm doing something that's ridiculously laggy in, like, another area, I will probably come and turn this off. In fact, I will probably turn all of this off now. We don't really need these resources. When we need them, I can turn them on. Anyway, I think that's kind of all we've got time for today. We did quite a bit. We got loads of spawners set up. The best spawners, in my opinion, to get are that cave creeper one we were just talking about. Funny enough, a witch spawner would be really useful. And I am going to make an invoker spawner because... Okay, at reliquary? Reliquary. I do have these invoker charms, so I could use these with an egg, I believe. And we get an invoker spawn egg, which is awesome. So I'll be using that at some point to make an invoker spawner. Stick that down here somewhere. This will kill those off, and we'll get like loads of emeralds out of the invokers and the totems of undying. Really, really useful. Anyway, oh, I forgot about this. We also we got a load of stuff from Cataclysm as well. That was kind of the episode that is not an episode anymore. This is really cool. Watch this. You can see. Look at that. Wow. Makes lots of noise, this mod. I love it. Right, anyway, I'm going to call it there. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.